everybody, welcome to the Creative Hub. If you are new to our channel, hey, welcome. If you are a returning subscriber, thank you for coming back, and I'm so happy that this is some content that you're interested in. If you're new here, this is a channel all about business. So if you're trying to start your business, trying to figure out how to make more sales, just trying to revamp your brand, this is what we are here to do. If you don't know, we are stemming off of That Studio 413, so you guys need to go follow That Studio 413 for more content, hands-on things, just if we don't post it on here, you know. So in today's video and the title, you can tell what we're talking about. There are different stages in this process of brand development, and we're gonna start with stage 1 in this video, and which stage 1 is discover. So if you guys are interested and you're trying to, and you can implement this brand development into your rebrand. You know, rebranding is always needed. It's really good to have a fresh start. So it doesn't matter if you haven't started your brand yet or if you already have your brand, this is where we're going to do this. Rebranding, starting up your brand, the brand development. This is the series for you. So stay tuned if you want to know more about brand development, and make sure you guys are subscribed to our channel. We have so much in store for you guys, so we just want you to not miss out on anything. So make sure your post notifications are on. Before we get into the video, I do have my Fill Me Up journal. This is where I take all my notes. I do have this journal still available. If you would love to purchase it, hit the link down below. And once they're out of stock, we have to wait for the full new shipment to come. We're still waiting for that delivery message. So this is where you can follow up with everything. The Fill Me Up journal is very much business related. You put all your business notes and ideas in here. It has a prompt to tell you what this type of journal is for. But literally, like I showed you guys last time, I keep all my notes and everything in this type of journal. So before we get into this video, if you would love to purchase one, I'll give you a second. Go down in the description box and purchase this journal. It will ship out same day, and you can tune in and take notes with this whole course and keep everything in your journal. I just love to journal and write down new things that I learned. I'm sorry, like this has just been a lot because they were ordered on September 14th. It is November 16th, okay? And customs, it was a lot going on. Like, it was a delay, it was a lot going on over there. I'm like, can I go pick them up? So like I said, you can keep up with us in this Fill Me Up journal. This is what the Fill Me Up journal was about: business and business only. And all the journals have its own basically reasoning of having it, but it's time to take notes. So go ahead and get your journal and you can get a sticky note right now, or get a little plain journal, and then once you get this in hand, put everything over there, and we're gonna keep it pushing. So if you already have a Fill Me Up journal, pull it out right now and let's get into this video. So in this first stage, I do believe the first stage of brand development is discover. And you know, everyone has a different technique of learning or a different technique of going about business. So I truly feel as though there's no wrong way to starting your business. Like, I don't want people to feel like, you know, some people don't start a business because they're like, oh, I don't have this, or I don't have that, and this and this. The worst thing you could do is do nothing, because that's what you're doing now. Nothing. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not speaking for everyone. Some people are doing something and it just may not be working for them. But the first thing I did want to talk about in this series was discover. Discover what it is that you want to put out there. When you come up with an item, and I'm not going to really speak on certain items, that I'm going to be speaking in a very general statement. When you discover what is the purpose of this product that you're trying to put out, or service that you're trying to put out, like, what is the purpose of you doing this? And honestly, a lot of people, you have to understand, like, to have a business is a lot of work. And what is your purpose of you having a business? Are you doing it because everyone else is doing it? Are you doing it because you just don't want to work for anybody anymore? You have that mindset, you're just tired of working. And to be honest, being your own boss, y'all know it's a lot of work. Anyone that is their own boss, they just know it's a lot of work. It's even 20,000 times more harder than working for someone else, but it gives you the opportunity to let your creativity explore its, you know, world. And that's where you become this very creative person, and you run across creator's block. I don't care what anyone says, everyone comes across creator's block, and that's where you really have to just sit down and think about, like, what's your purpose of your brand? And whatever your brand is, even if you don't have a physical business, like, so say you're a YouTuber, influencer, you're your own brand, you represent your brand. What is your purpose? Are you here to give out content on lifestyle? Are you here to give content on hair? Are you here to give content on food? Like, you have to know your purpose, and when you learn your purpose, it makes it a lot easier when it comes to this brand development process. What's the vision? Where do you see this? Do you see your brand being in a mall? Do you see your brand being having its own studio? What's the vision for this brand? What do you want to come out of it? And that's where you speak positivity into yourself and your brand. Sit and think. I'm doing this because, and this is how I want it to look. When it comes to your packaging, when it comes down to your color scheme, everything. What's the vision for your brand? And that's where it comes down to having a vision board. Now there's 3 different types of boards, all right? You have a mood board, you have a vision board, and then you have an brand identity board. They're all 3 different things, kind of all similar in some way, but they're 3 different things. And it's super important to create all 3. A vision board, you can set it for your life goals or you can set it for your business goals. You can put them together, but if you have them separate, you have your personal life vision board, like what is it you want to do in life, and then what do you want to see? Your brand is your baby, all right? So what do you want to see for your child? How do you want it to grow? What do you want it to become? So you can have a vision board for separate things in life, anything in life. And then you have a mood board. A mood board is super important, especially if you're a content creator or you have a brand and you have models or you have influencers that work for you or whatever the case is. You want to have a mood board so that you can send out a sheet to everyone to know what it is you're trying to execute in this season or this theme of your brand, all right? And the mood board can have inspiration pictures of like, I like stuff like this. Can you please, anyone, one of my models, could you please, pick which pictures you can try to produce and bring back to me so I can have it for my content. Mood boards are super important to know how you want your brand to look, and others will know as well. A brand identity board, I call them brand identity boards. You know what I'm talking about. Those are for like graphic designers and things like that when it comes to you trying to get work done. When you send these sheets out to the graphic designers, they already know the fonts you like. They know your color codes. They know your inspiration photos. They know everything. So it's easier when you guys are communicating, all right? Now, those are the 3 different boards. Keep that in mind. Make sure you have all 3. No rush to get them done, but those are really important to have. And what are the values of your brand, of the product or service? So say you sell perfume, and I don't really mean to put an item, like I just said I didn't want to put an item onto the video, onto the series or anything like that, but I'm just speaking for those to understand what I'm saying. If you sell perfume, the values of it, you're gonna smell good, all right? And you want your product to be long lasting. If it's perfume, no one wants to keep spraying themselves, so your perfume, the value of the perfume, you want people to understand why is it that your perfume is different from someone else's. And you never want to compare your brand when it comes to you promoting it. You know how some companies, they will say, oh, our phone service is better than their phone service. I just don't believe in putting other brands down or anything like that, because we all deserve to, have the opportunity to make money. But that's just something that I think about. I don't know about you, or if that's a marketing tactic that you like to use. But when it comes to you, when your values of your brand, speak on your brand and make it, your words are super important. The use of words when it comes to your brand. What's your values? Our long lasting, amazing perfume. And then start looking at synonyms. I always look at synonyms for certain words instead of just using great. I look up synonyms for good. Any word you're using, you want to look up synonyms just to add a little bit more emphasis on your brand. Everyone always sees, this is the best makeup. It's not really eye-catching. You want to be eye-catching. So when it comes to your values, start Googling some words and see what fits your brand best, all right? So you have your purpose as to why you're selling this item or offering this service. You have the vision as to how you want it to look, your mood board, your vision board, and then you have the values. What is it that's gonna make me wanna buy this? How is this benefiting me? If that makes more sense to use the word benefit when it comes to values and makes it easier for you to remember, benefits, all right? Purpose, vision, values, or benefits. And those are the main things when it comes to discover. That is the first step to brand identity, which is to discover what it is that you're here to do, and why you're doing it, and how it benefits someone else. That's where the whole content creation comes into play. And I tell people that even if they don't have a business started yet, informative posts are super important. Like informative posts just to give someone insight, educate someone. You don't always have to sell when you're making content posts. Inform. People like to learn. And when you inform others, it makes them want to be like, oh, what else do they post? You know what I mean? So you have a skincare line, you haven't dropped it yet. Do your research. Inform someone on something new. Even if you didn't know that's something new to you too, perfect. Now I bet they didn't know either, but you're just informing them and getting them engaged with your content. Ask questions. So say you want to sell skincare, ask people, what is your skincare routine? Content post should be very intriguing for people to even want to read it and then engage, because that's a lot for people. They have to read, then they have to engage. That's a lot. You know, people just scroll and like. So you have to catch people's eye. And when you can catch someone's eye, a lot can happen, all right? So now when it comes to creating this content, you want to create a theme for your brand. And the theme is more so, are you, a girly brand, colorful brand? Are you just for the guys? This is where your vision board, your mood board comes into play. Get some inspiration. Right now after this video, go ahead and go on Pinterest, get some inspiration, or wherever you go ahead and get inspiration from, please go do so. And you really have to sit and think, what do I want to get out of this? Especially for those that are rebranding. What are you trying to get out of it? Why are you rebranding? What's wrong? Is it you don't like your website, you don't like your color scheme, you feel like your marketing tactics aren't right, or you feel as though you're just lacking something? Like, you have to know your why, your purpose. Whether you're rebranding, starting fresh, anything, you need to know your purpose as to why you're doing something. And you want your brand to feel it's your baby. You want to treat it as such and make sure you give off the correct content. There's also content courses and everything on thatstudio413.com, so you guys can go ahead over there and check it out, see if anything fits you. If not, if you want to request any type of course, please leave a comment, leave it in the reviews, leave it in the comment section down below, whatever fits you best. But it's time to be creative. It's time to sit and think. This is the first step, and we're gonna come back, maybe a video every week, just because I know, like, for when I was offering the mentoring course, I realized that not everyone could keep up. And which is, I totally understand, like, everyone has their own personal life, and it was also too on my schedule as well. So it was kind of hard to balance it, and I feel like I can maybe talk about it in a video with someone else. But I really would love to talk to someone and like discuss like mentoring, and it does put pressure on someone because like they have to keep up with everything, and so does the instructor have to keep up with everyone, and it's just a lot. And I didn't want to rush people. This series is kind of stemming off of that, and I just knew a lot of people needed brand development, and this is what I wanted to offer. I wanted to offer it for free for you all, and on your own terms and your own pace. So next week will be step 2. I really hope you guys understand the first stage of brand development is to really discover. And like I said, some people work backwards, some people work a different way, some people work with already having a product and then they can think of a name, or they can think of the name and then think of the product. They see a picture, they be like, oh, I like this, I can maybe sell this too. We all work differently, and that is totally fine. There's not really, like I said, it's not really a right way to go about this, but it's just a guide to help you. So once you figure out your why, we can move forward, all right? And like I said, when it comes to the brand name, this could be your first step. You can think of a name, like you see dusk, you think of dusk. That sounds like a really nice, warm candle smell, and that's how some people think. People think differently, I think differently, you think differently. So there's no real right way. So don't feel pressured like, oh, she said we have to do this first, and no, don't. It's all right, okay? Work at your pace, do things how you want, but we will be back next week with a new video. Make sure you guys give this video a thumbs up, and if you have any other tactics of how you start with brand development, please comment them down below. I want to say it's 5 stages, but the last one is it's like, self-explanatory, but we have 4 main stages. This first stage was to discover. So make sure you guys go ahead and discover what it is that you're doing, and even if you're rebranding, discover what is your purpose. Why are you rebranding? What's going on? I understand it's a new year, this is the perfect time to do a rebrand, so go right ahead, whatever you feel comfortable doing, do it, have a positive mindset. The worst thing that can happen is you doing nothing, and that's probably what you're doing now, and nothing is happening. Okay, you don't know until you try, so go ahead and try. Like I said, do not worry if you work backwards, you work another way, that's totally fine. But this is how I wanted to teach everyone, and your theme and things like that. We're gonna get into it, okay, with this series. Make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel. Give this video a thumbs up if you really are excited about this series, and see you all in the next video.